In the last video, we talked about why so many animal shelters are failing. Not because of bad people, but because of broken systems. So today I want to make this a little bit more practical and say if I walked into a failing animal shelter tomorrow as the director, there are 7 things that I would focus on first. And just for some clarity, I did walk into a failing animal shelter 10 years ago. It was failing so bad that one of the employees, when I came in the first day, left at lunch and called in and said she wasn't coming back. We did talk her into coming back and she stayed 5 more years. But that's how bad the chaos was. There are 7 things that I would focus on first if I were starting over. And there is no perfect path. You can't fix everything overnight, but you can stop the downward spiral and create some stability right out of the gate. The very first thing I would do is not of the 7, it's nothing. I would do nothing for the first week. I would watch and listen. You can find out all kinds of things in the laundry room. Volunteers in the laundry room will talk. Employees in the laundry room will talk. If you just listen, you're going to find out all kinds of things that you didn't know before, and then you know what to hit first. None of these fixes are flashy, but together they can change everything. The first thing that you need to look at is your intake without limits. Unmanaged intake will destroy morale, your finances, staff, outcomes, everything. If intake doesn't have any structure, everything downstream breaks. Unlimited intake without flow is not compassion. It's abdication, basically. If your leadership is stuck in the weeds, this is number 2, in a failing shelter, directors are doing everything but their job. They're doing everybody else's job except the one they need to be doing. If every decision requires your attention, the system is already failing. Write down what you do every day for a week. If you're in that laundry room doing laundry after your first week of observation, or if you're having to monitor what's happening in the kennels every minute, you're not leading. Number 3, no shared definition of success. Many shelters can't tell you what success actually means. Is it your intake volume? Is it your live release rate? Is it your community perception? What you don't define, the loudest voice defines for you. If you can't define what your success rate is or what defines your success, somebody else is going to do it for you. Number 4, operating without live data. This is huge. Decisions are being based on stress instead of information. And when you first come into a shelter, or if you're running a shelter right now that's in utter chaos, a lot of it is because you don't have information. You should never be surprised by lack of capacity or burnout. These things are measurable. You know how many kennels you have in your cat area. You know how many dog kennels you have. You know how long your longest resident has been there. If you don't, you should. You can't manage what you refuse to look at. Number 5, volunteer chaos. Volunteers are treated like free help instead of a system. Nothing will drive a volunteer away quicker than chaos. It creates frustration for your staff. It's wasted goodwill. You lose volunteers and they go someplace else. How should a volunteer system work? A volunteer should fill out an application, just like an adopter. There should be a background check. Find out what their interests are. When they come into your building in the morning to volunteer, they should know what they're doing. They sign in. They are going to clean. They are going to do laundry. They are going to socialize kittens. They are going to help in the cattery. They're going to walk dogs. They are going to take a dog out for a day. They know what they're doing when they come through the door. Volunteer failure is a management failure. Staff burnout treated as a personal weakness is number 6. Burnout is not caused by people caring too much. It's caused by systems that don't allow people to succeed. You can't self-care your way out of a structural failure. A pizza party is not going to fix your structural problems with your staff. They all need to know what their job is, what their expectations are, where they work, what they're supposed to be doing, who's in charge. All of those things make your staff more comfortable. Number 7 is a big one. No long-term reform lens. You're in survival mode all the time. You don't have a long-term plan. A failing shelter is in survival mode all the time. Winning shelters think in phases. This is the phase we're in now. We're in growth phase. We did growth phase last year. We built a new building and added 50 kennels. We are in restaffing phase. Staff turns over. It's effective life of a shelter. I have some of the longest term staff in any shelter I've ever heard of. It's possible to keep staff long term, but you have to have systems in place. Crisis thinking kills reform. If you are constantly operating in crisis mode, you will lose people. You will lose animals. You will lose adopters. You will lose volunteers. It's a shit show. It's just a shit show. If you're leading a shelter right now, this list probably felt uncomfortable. You may have seen your shelter or yourself in 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe all 7 of these. That's okay. Reform doesn't start with blame, it starts with clarity. You have to identify what the issues are that you have in your building, in your shelter, on your campus if you're a larger facility. In the next video, we're going to talk about why intake control is the single most important job of a shelter director. Open intake shelters, this is a tough one. Avoiding intake control is destroying everything downstream. And it's something that has to be talked about. And we're going to do that in our next video.